Ooh, I don't think I saw this one. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, hello everyone. I'm gonna go through all my Monstera Burle Marx Flames. It's gonna be a little bit, well, I don't know if it's gonna be a shorter video, but we'll see. I got a question or comment in my last video asking to see them and like how they're doing. And to be honest, I don't really look at them. I think I've said this before where they're in this corner. There's a lot of plants in front. I only really look at them like every 2 weeks when I change the nutrient solution for the one in LECA. Every other time, even the ones in pond, I just kind of reach over and water them. So this is going to be exciting for all of us because, again, it has been a while since I've actually looked at them. Okay, I'm going to grab the first one, but if y'all missed any of those videos, I have a lot of videos about the Burle Marx Flame. I am no expert, but I do have a bunch of specimens, so I do have a little bit of experience when it comes to growing them. Ooh, I'm excited. Wow. Okay. This, oh my gosh, this leaf had such an unfortunate situation. And I kind of saw it from afar. I just didn't know what happened, but this is the first one. So there's a new leaf. You can see that 2 of the parts of the leaf got ripped. I don't know if that's when it was unfurling, but look at the rest of the leaf. Like, it is a lot larger than the other ones. Like, can we take her in? This is so incredible and so impressive. Again, for its short size. Yeah, okay, y'all. I think I'm gonna like bring them to the living room because the lighting is like not good in here. Every time there's light behind me, I guess you can see it. Maybe I'll stay here. Seeing this, it makes me so excited for the future leaves on this plant. I do want to say this though. There's a total of 3 plants in here. Again, I chopped, essentially this was the butt cut. I chopped this into 3 pieces and then just kept them in here, put a moss pole. The second one in here is kind of going backwards. We can see. Let me just make sure I'm telling the right story. Yeah. The second plant in here, you can see that, I think it's, yeah, it's this one. These are the 2 new leaves. So you can see this one has 2 fenestrations. This one has 0. This one is actually the newest leaf. And I find it interesting because, again, they're in, okay, I'm gonna have to, it's getting dark. I'm gonna have to like go outside. So yeah, the lighting's much better here. So look at this leaf. Oh my God, what is going on here? Whoa, it looks so good. Oh my gosh. It's really big. I don't know if you can see, like I'll put my head next to it. It's big. Okay, so the second plant, the one I was talking about, had this leaf with a claw over here. And then the new leaf is this one. Okay, so like I was saying, they're in the same planter of LECA. I almost said pond. They're both attached to the moss pole. They're getting the same nutrient solution. So what I'm thinking, they're getting the same lighting. I forgot to mention that. But I do think it might have to do with the root system. I'm thinking maybe the root system might not be, I don't know. Like, I'm taking a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 leaves. And if we look at the roots together, because there's gonna be a lot, y'all. Yeah, do you see this? Insane. It's hard because I can't pinpoint like if all of these roots are linked to the first plant that is more mature, or if it's like, do you know what I mean? Because there is a chance that the root system is not that big, and it obviously just appears that it's big because there's more plants in here. There's also a third plant in here, but I thought it was interesting. Let's go through the leaves for the first ones. We have the first leaf on the second plant, then we have a little lobster claw, and then after that we have the one with 2 fenestrations, and then we have the no fenestration. So I'm a little worried because before, when this happened, there was an issue with the pH. I'm less worried just seeing that the one that I showed you here is doing okay. She did have a situation where the leaf before that only had 2 fenestrations, but it was such, I don't think I've shown this before. This is the leaf before this one over here. And yeah, it has 2 fenestrations. The one before that, where are you? Oh yeah, here it is. Had 3. Do you see that? So I was worried at that point. And then lastly, the little cutie that I didn't think was gonna survive. So this is like the bottom cut of the butt cut. So it was like the oldest part of the plant, and y'all know, Future Kevin put in a picture, like I got this when it was a baby. Like it looks like this. I think it was 2 years ago at this point. Was it 3? I think it was 2 years. And so this portion of the plant is from that point in the plant, I guess. And so it is a lot younger. So you can see here, it pushed out that leaf initially, and then this new leaf. So she's still here. And then the leaf that was attached to it over here, you can see is looking crunch, but keeping it there because it's still green, it's still acting as a solar panel. I know she's brown. I'm never going to be the type that gets rid of leaves because there's some brown on them. I think that's just dumb in my opinion. It's still helping the plant. They can pull mobile nutrients, specifically nitrogen, to newer growth if it's not available in the, like if the plant can pull it from the root system. If the root system's dead, like it can pull from older growth. That's why when you see root rot, that's why also you can see like older leaves dying off, because the plant is trying to survive to the best of its abilities, and so it does pull from older growth. Anyhow, I am just so happy that this is here, even though she's like crunch. But look at this planter. Again, there's 3. There's 3 in here. There are some roots going into the moss bowl. It looks like this one didn't attach properly, but there's one down here. Oh, do you see? Ooh, do you see that one? Cute. I said the lighting was the same, but I didn't talk about like how much light. So measuring it, just because these leaves have now grown, they're actually very, very close to the grow light. So I would say like 1500 to 2000. I do think that's a lot, like too much. I'm in the process of changing my configuration of my room. And with that, I'm gonna raise the shelf where the grow light is, because these leaves are almost touching. I've had to like rotate this planter just so it doesn't burn the leaves. I do think that, you know, it's a misconception that these plants, like monsteras in general, don't need a lot of light. They need like enough, and I would say medium to bright and direct light. So I would say anywhere between like 500 to 1,000 foot candles, and the duration of time is very important as well. So my grow lights are on for 14 hours a day. This planter, along with the ones that I'm going to show you after that are living in pond, are up against my south-facing window. You know, they've been like that from winter to now almost summer. And especially now with the days getting longer, the sun staying up higher in the sky and for longer hours, it is still like, even if there's no grow light, it is getting like a ton of light compared to my other plants. On the shelf, it's actually like close to the ground. So the angle from the sun is actually like amazing. So it does get that amazing view. Nutrient solution, because I think this might be the only plant I currently have in LECA. I'll show you the props of the one that was in LECA, and there's some props that are living in LECA and pond, but I'll show you those at the end because they're all here and they're surviving and they're doing okay. I have tweaked my nutrient solution a little bit. It's just been in the past month though, so like I don't know. You have to always watch something for a longer period of time before you make conclusions. But I've kind of backed off my FloraBloom. I've stopped using RapidStart because I just ran out, and I've introduced, okay, finally everyone, everyone's been trying to get me to use some sort of myco, so I have been trying Great White. Listen, I've heard y'all, I know it's very good for the plant. I've just been cautious because I've only seen a lot of things of people that have used this in aerated mixes, not that much. And if anyone can direct me to anyone who uses this, and I know there's a liquid version called Orca, if y'all could direct me to a resource that uses it in semi-hydro. So I have been using this for the past 2 months. So I would say in total, it would be 4 nutrient changes. I mean, my plants look happy, but I don't want to, again, conclude anything just because it is warmer in the room. It is sunnier, like the days are longer. So there's a lot of things that have changed along with me adding this, along with my nutrient solution. And if y'all are interested, I am filming a video after this, like a plant share video, I think. So if y'all are interested in like what my mix is now, see in the next video. So changing the nutrient solution every 2 weeks now, just because the plants are thirstier. I find that if I wait longer, like 3 to 4 weeks, the reservoir either disappears because, you know, the plant's root system, and I mean, you saw it, it's an extremely thirsty plant with that many roots, and like it's warmer. So like those things kind of factor in the season as well. And I know people worry about, you know, the roots in the reservoir. So far, it hasn't been an issue. I'm not filling a third way up like I usually do. Like if I see that the roots are big and they're like this, I just kind of fill to the bottom of the net pot and not third way up. Oh, I heard some crunching. I don't know if y'all heard that. I think I might put a little bit more water because I think I'm not going to be able to mix my nutrient solution until 3 weeks. I'm just been so busy. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of water. Plain water over, I'm not measuring, guys. I'm just kind of putting enough that it covers the roots. And yeah, so that's the first one. I'm gonna leave it here because I have to grab the other ones. Okay, sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera a little bit. But if y'all have like, again, I always am so curious. Like I know a lot of people have gotten their hands on this plant and, you know, a lot that are more mature than mine. And so I love to see the progress of this plant because 2 years ago when, you know, people started seeing it, or even longer than that, we only saw like the big form, and it was usually like in parts of Asia where like it was already mature. But now, you know, with us getting our hands on it and growing it from like little tiny plants or propagations, like it's, for me, it's interesting to see these grow in like home conditions because again, living in a condo in the city in Canada, like the temperature fluctuates, like especially during the winter time, less light, less warm, and less humidity. So let me know, everyone. Okay, the next one. Oh my God, guys. This plant is so, oh my gosh, look. Do you see this? Okay, how many are in here? I keep forgetting. There's 2 plants in here. Okay, I feel like it was focusing on my face, so I'm just gonna do a pan. So this isn't just one plant, everyone. There's a couple in here, but are you joking? Are you joking? So, I think I've said this before. I think my favorite substrate to grow this plant is pon. It's lower maintenance. So far, I don't know. I don't need to worry about the roots in the reservoir. There's still a potential for like the rot situation. I don't need to feed it as much because I'm not changing a solution. I'm just kind of, you know, every month, for example, like supplying it with nutrients. It's been longer than 6 months since I planted this in fresh pon. If y'all don't know, pon has slow release fertilizer. It's only designed to last like 3 to 6 months. I think that's what they say on the bag. And so you have to supplement it afterwards. So I've been doing that since with a diluted nutrient solution. I don't know, this plant is like the best. Look at this. Look at this. I'm pretty sure this one's a new leaf. Okay, we're staying like with the newer leaves on this plant. Like a lot of them only have 3 fennies with the newer leaves, which is fine. It is so gorgeous. I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to see, but when I was taking this out, you can see that, because this is the newest leaf, I don't know if you can see that the top part is like more yellow than the bottom. It's like right under the grow light. Again, Sunblaster LED grow lights, it's like literally here. Again, I need to stress, I do think it's too much light, like 1,500 to 2,000 foot candles for 14 hours a day with these Sunblaster grow lights. But can you see that it's actually not terrible? It's actually not terrible. So with that plant, the oldest leaf, which is shocking because it's actually pretty big. The oldest leaf is this one. So fat, but 0 fennies. And then moving up, we have this one. Is it that one? Wow, it really matured quickly. Okay, so I just counted, there's 4 leaves in total, and then this one right over here with 3 fennies, and then the one I just showed you with 3 fennies. Beautiful, and then the second one here, let's start from the bottom. Cute little flame here, and then a lobster claw, an almost lobster claw. Then 2 fenestrations here, 3 fenestrations with the next one, and then 3 with the final one. I don't think I really looked at this leaf. I think it's like super new. Yeah. That's nice. I like being shocked by the plants that I don't really look at because again, it's this planter is facing the south-facing window, so I only see the back of her. Like this is what I see when I like peek over, but I don't really see this. You know, when it comes to light, I'm trying not to like rotate the plant because I do want the leaves to be facing the window and facing one direction. So, I mean, you can see that it's doing it. Do you see this? Oh my God, my camera is overheating. I keep forgetting that this happens. Okay, let me grab a fan. Forgot to mention, I do have the moss pole already attached and you can see that it is climbing and there's no moss. I do need to put moss. I just didn't have any prepared in a self-watering pot of pond. So there is like a little pocket here where there's like space for a nutrient solution or reservoir. And so I just make sure that I keep it like full, and like up to here basically means that this indicator or the red part, as you can see, I'm failing. It stays up here. So why don't we just water it now and make sure that it's all moist around. Yeah, here's the thing, y'all. I've been really busy with just so many things. Working out, work, seeing family and stuff. And so yeah, just gonna make sure it's up to there. So that is her. I'm kind of obsessed with how this looks looks like in the viewfinder. Again, there's two plants in here. The second one that's in pond, obsessed also. I just pulled it out when I was, you know, letting the camera, you know, chill. But look, there's so many. Oh my gosh. And these, like, it looks like they're more mature than the pone is dropping. The plants look, or the leaves look more, oh, I don't think I saw this one. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God, are there bugs? Here's the thing, y'all. When you don't look at your plants for a while, you just see the back part. And because this is on the shelf, just like right under the vent, there's like a lot of dust. There's no pests, y'all. I mean, okay, so I know when I pull this plant, like she was under the grow light again. Like, it's a little bit harsh, like almost too harsh. So this camera is, like, in my opinion, this camera makes things look better than they appear in real life. So I can confirm that it does look more yellow. The pone is dropping. And let me look, oh yeah, and then the second one here. The second one, the newest leaf is, oh my God, this one. Look at these. You know, I honestly didn't realize it was like maturing so quickly. Like, do you see this? So the newest leaf on the first plant in here, the newest leaf on the second plant here. And like, she's not even, she's like this high up this moss pole. I like can't believe these started out as like single node props. And like, I'm guessing it's because they came from like a more mature part of the plant. Not always, but you know, depending if you have a leaf attached to it, if you're giving it the right conditions, they will push out more mature leaves. Am I lying about that? Maybe I'm lying about that. The oldest leaf, okay, let's go through the leaves now. The oldest leaf on one of the plants is a big claw, like it's a fat claw. Then after that, it already pushed out 3 fennies. Then this one with 5 fennies. And then the newest one with, I think this might be the first one that I have with 6 fenestrations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first time. Oh my God, look at this. This is a big deal because y'all know that when I grew that one plant in LECA, she had issues, like she was going backwards. I think I only had 4 fennies. Oh yeah, because the other one in here has 5. Oh my gosh, this is a big deal, everyone. Oh my God, this is such a big deal. For me. Yeah, and so the second one, the oldest leaf is this one. I don't remember cutting off like any new leaves that like first came out. I think I definitely did cut the leaves that were attached to the one node cutting. But this is the first leaf on the second one. So 2 fennies. Moving up, then we're going up to 4 fennies. Is this 5? 5 fennies with this one. Oh my gosh, she's like so wonk. Obsessed. again, y'all need to get your hands on one because how they feel, it's like so thick. It is unbelievable. 5 Fennies as well. And then, oh, I lied. That's the other plant. But the newest leaf that I showed you already has 5. But look at all these. Isn't this so incredible? Wow. Same configuration as the previous, so self-watering pot. Since I water these around the same time, you can see that she is drier, but feeling like putting my finger in the pond, it is still moist, which is good. Never dry out the pond completely, like when it's light and it's like moving all over the place like so easily when you tip the pot. I know a lot dropped, but I really did tip it. Just making sure it's moist and fertilizing with the dilute nutrient solution every month. I mean, that's what I do. For sure, this one specifically needs moss, and I think I might do it in this video. You can see all the roots. Here's a reflection. I don't know if you can see, but they are going in there. And yeah, ultimately, and clearly you can see that she doesn't necessarily need the moss. She just needs to feel secure. And you can see that some of the ones down here, they're already going into the pond. So this goes for, I want to say most plants or aeroids, like they really need to feel secure. They need to be hugging whatever, you know, whatever's around the roots, because it kind of gives the plant permission to start maturing. Again, I feel like people forget because people are really just focused on the aesthetics of plants, which pisses me off. But plants are living things. And so the moment they, you know, feel comfortable and they're happy, they will start, I mean, clearly, look at this. So the moss will help. The moss will help, but it could be anything. It really could be anything. Everyone needs to check out Carlo. He has been growing, I think there's a couple flames in that planter in an arid mix, but he's putting bark in the moss pole. And I mean, you can check, I'll put the handle here, Carlo. So yeah, he does have a pretty mature flame and a gigantic tie, bigger than mine. His moss pole is full of bark, and I think I was reading this description of one of his posts and he says he prefers that. I'm gonna use moss. And so I hope I have enough. But first, I'll do the moss after. Oh my gosh. Can we I just wanna hold these two. Okay, I need, oh my gosh. Jesus. These are only 4. Wow, this isn't even the one that's in LECA, that's over there. Look at this, incredible. I don't want to let go because I know I'm not going to be able to look at them for like 2 weeks. So again, like these are the more mature ones. So we have 4 in pond and then 3 in LECA. I've said this before and many times, like you have to try things a second time if things aren't successful, because if I concluded that, you know, the flame doesn't do well in LECA and that, you know, the pH might like affect it more than others, and kind of moved away from LECA, like I wouldn't have ever experienced like this plant where it has, because this leaf is bigger than the other ones, even though, you know, it had a little situation, like it is a lot bigger than the other ones. And just like having just more information, you know, I still think that it's a little too early to form conclusions about this. But I like what I'm seeing and things are going well. And, you know, obviously I don't have any experience with arid mixes. Like, my experience is only with pond and LECA. And so far, the ones in pond are slaying my life. Okay, I want to grab the one that had the root rot at the bottom. She's still a little cutie, but she's still alive. And I'm excited to talk about her because she's still here. Okay, so remember this situation. Root rot. So I actually caught it at like, I think if I waited a bit longer to, you know, elevate it, like I think it would have been a goner, because on the other side here is like the only root that existed. And you can see that the rot part was almost there. So I really want to elevate it. I've said before, the plan was wait for that plant to grow, which it has, and until there's a couple of sets of aerial roots. So there's one over there. It's still fresh. I don't know if that's the right word to use. And then there's this one, and then first leaf, second leaf, and then the third one. So no Fennies yet, but like just knowing where this came from, like almost not like being alive, And this one is another one that's in pawn. So here's the thing. I'm gonna wait for this leaf to harden off, open and harden off, and then I'm probably gonna repot it to cover these roots, just so you know, I can stop with this levitating situation. But yeah, like how exciting, everyone. I'm just watering it. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was the 8th one. And then let's look at the props, because I think I might repot a few. So I want to start off with this disgusting water. So these are the two that I didn't think that were going to survive, just because they didn't have a root system. I showed them again and they did. Like, I was surprised that they actually had a new growth and a new root. I'm just going to wash this off. I'm so bad these days when it comes to changing the water. Like, ultimately, I've just been adding more water on top of the old water. And so this is disgusting, I know. So let me just like, I'm gonna, I don't know. I don't want to show y'all how dirty it is, but like, this is real. This is what's happening. That is disgusting. So I'm just gonna wash it off. Ooh, there's some fresh roots that just kind of came alive. I'm alive. Oh my God. I was talking to one of my friends and she was, oh my God, it's so funny. She didn't even know who Sia was. And I'm like, chandelier, elastic heart, titanium, none. She didn't know at all. Anyhow, okay. So this is the first one. So the main root, and there's some branching here, which is fantastic. That is a new growth point. And she came from like an older part of the plant. Like, you can see that it's no fennies. So yeah, that's one of them here. How wonderful. And then, okay, this one had 2 fennies here. Same kind of situation. So one main root, you can see the branching here. I'm a little confused because I hate touching this stuff, because I'm like, okay, there's no rot. Okay, coloration, like you can see like a lot of brown. Can you see? Yeah, there's a lot of brown. But I think it's just, yeah, it's fine. And feeling the edges here and the squishiness, it's not actual rot. Okay, and then the growth point. So seeing these, and I always say a couple inches of roots, and especially seeing that there's branches, I think I might repot them now. Okay, let's repot them now. I love how in the beginning I was like, this is gonna be a quick video. That's 8, 9. Before I do that, let's look at the other ones that I propagated from that same plant. So the 2 that I showed you, and like I think the 4 that I'm gonna show you in a moment, they came from the one that was living in LECA. Not in one of these bucket situations. It was one that was a clear, like just normal nursery pot with like a shallow saucer for a reservoir. I don't think I recommend that if you're doing LECA, because if you have like the nutrient solution open to air and it's hot, there's a lot of evaporation that does affect the pH. And so because at the time I wasn't changing my nutrient solution often, like I think it really, I mean, I think they looked like this. Did they, when I propagated them? Like, look at the yellowing. She was doing well like originally, but then she started like doing poorly. But anyhow, okay, so this is the 3rd one that's part of those props. She did start pushing out this weird thing. Do you see that? So this is the cutting. She pushed out this, and then it's this weird sheath situation, cataphyll, realness, and then you can see like a little thing in there. So I don't know, she's still here. You can see that there's some new roots, but not too many. Okay, there's one there. And yeah, just filling up this, so there's a little bit of water. Let me do it now so I can show you. So just up to here. I should repot it. Should I repot it? I don't know. Okay, the next one. I'll decide in a bit. The next one is the one with this one. Beautiful. And then I had a few nodes on this plant, did I? Actually, it's just the one. So new growth point from this node, or the axillary bud. And then this is definitely a leaf, like you can see it. Do you see it? It's a leaf. It's gonna be like the cutest little flame. And the roots. I know it looks gross, but plants, just think of how they live in nature. It's never a sterile situation. I'm really excited. Woo, 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 yay. 3 more left, so this one. Eclat. I have it levitating. I think I had it levitating because the aerial root was just so long and firm that I couldn't bend it in a way. So I just kind of taped it. But there is a new growth here. Look at that. How wonderful. Roots. I mean, you can see a lot of new root growth there. Look at that. And then let's just put some water. Yeah, I mean, should I put them in actual pots now? Okay. This one's in an actual pot. So this is number 4 of those props. Or, sorry, this is number 6 of these props. So this, and I think it's just one bud that it's coming out of. It's kind of a similar thing, like, you know when you have a new plant and it just pushes out either a weird leaf or it skips, like you can see like once the plant grows and matures, like there's like one node and one bud where it doesn't have a leaf and it just kind of skips it. At least that's what I've seen in my experience, but look at this. It's kind of like the same thing here. So you can see that it was cut here and the bud is over there. And yeah, in an actual self-watering planter of pond, I think almost to maximum, so I don't need to put any water. And then the nubbin that I really like, I wasn't hopeful because she didn't have a leaf. And you know, if they don't have a leaf and they're kind of living in room conditions where the humidity is not high, it's not necessarily hot in my room, like where this one is actually, this one's under the air conditioner right now. But look at this. This is a big deal. I don't see any roots. I do need to repot her soon. Look at all the algae. But let me just add some water. So 7 cuttings from that plant in LECA that wasn't doing well. I'm gonna have little baby flames. Oh my god, that's so exciting. Okay, so what we're gonna do, whew, there's so many. Oh my god, this is the dream, everyone. This is what I always wanted. I wanted so many flames. So many flames. Okay, so let's start putting moss into these moss poles. I do think a lot of the damage that you see on a lot of them is because when there's a new leaf unfurling and there's no moss, and like that hard plastic is against the caterpillar or the new leaf coming out, then it does bruise it. I mean, it's not really a big deal because, I mean, it was a big deal with the one in LECA. Because that's basically what happened to, oh my god, that's what happened with this. And so yeah, I'll put a little bit more in here. Let's do that. I have my boiled moss here. You know, I get questions about like reusing moss and like how much it degrades every time you like sanitize and boil it. And I haven't had issues. I think, I don't know, I just keep going until like, I just keep boiling or reusing the moss and just basing it on like the texture of the moss, like if it's good. But I generally reuse it. So all of this is reuse boiled moss. Sometimes there's like roots, like dead roots attached to it. And I try my best to like take it out beforehand. And let me grab some gloves because again, y'all, my eczema is doing its thing. It's doing its thing. This one already has some moss, so I'm just gonna put some on top. I'm a little nervous because I think in the last video I talked about nematodes. I'm trying the nematodes that come in like this powdery form in bags that need to be more closely monitored and controlled when it comes to temperature when you first receive it, from Coppert. I've never tried that formulation. I've only used Pop Popper. And to be honest, I think it's better, but it's only been 2 weeks. I have seen like far less fungus gnats. I maybe have only seen like 1 or 2. And I'm using that in conjunction with the yellow sticky traps to catch the adults. The nematodes only attack the larva state, I think. And so any adults that are lingering that could potentially lay more eggs and like populate somewhere else that doesn't have any nematodes, just having those sticky traps there present does the trick. And ultimately right now, I do prefer it to the pot popper. But I was saying that because I didn't treat this moss with it. I know this moss I did, so hopefully the nematodes can crawl up this part of the moss. And I'll just have like yellow sticky traps on this just to monitor. I just can't believe it's like the beginning of May. It's the beginning of May and these are taking off so beautifully, and like, what are they gonna look like in December? It makes me so excited, everyone. Okay, I just added more moss. There's nothing much to see, so just a little bit more. When it comes to when I had this moss pole on and the plant growing, I did have to kind of pull gently and guide it like against the moss pole, because since they were a bit more mature, they did kind of go away from the moss pole, and I did have to do that, and you'll see that with one of them, with the ones in pond. I did have to like tie it to the moss pole. It was just kind of scary because there is always a potential that you're gonna like snap it. But then more plants then, I don't know. So, okay, let's say goodbye. Let's say goodbye to this one. I don't know, it's hard to, it's so much bigger. I guess it's because this one specifically, like, more aeration around the roots. I was changing the nutrient solution every 2 weeks. But that doesn't explain like the other one in here, which is just this one situation here. It's hard to tell based on the root system, just because all the roots are tangled up in here. And you know, the small cute one here. I'm probably gonna chop that one just because it looks to me that there's not much room on the moss pole. But let's wait for it to mature a little bit. So I'm gonna put this one back. Well, look at this. Incredible. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Do you see the green plant tape is wrapped around the stem here? This one was going like, it was going all the way to British Columbia. Like, it really like didn't want to attach itself. And you can see over here, I had to like pull this root out of the pond. Do you see how there's a lot of pond attached to it? It's because that root was under. You know, she's still here, thankfully. And now it's gonna be an issue. I might put cling wrap now because this big aerial root is kind of going the other direction. I don't want to bend it. Yeah, I can't bend it. I think I just have to wrap it. Okay, so moss first. I hope everyone's doing well. I know I always say that. Do you know what? It's so great now that I can just like relax and not worry about like content. Oh my gosh. It has been the biggest relief. And I mentioned it at the end of last week's video, how I can just focus on like the other things in life, because I feel like my whole life before that was just worrying about the next video, worrying if it was going to get enough views, worrying about if it was going to make enough money to make a living. And so it's just like so wonderful now that I just could just relax again and not worry about it. Like, do whatever I want, do whatever I want. And he stresses again, like, I fully understand that I wouldn't be here still doing this if it's not. Every time I get sentimental, I like can't talk. When it comes to y'all and you guys continuing to watch me, and yeah, I don't know, like, it was like the deciding factor when it came to like either quitting YouTube. I was just like thinking about wanting to share with you guys. Like, that's ultimately why I started this. I wanted to share my journey. I wanted to share the experiences and whatever information you want to take from these videos, like, take it. Ultimately, guys, I know people are like tired of me saying this over and over and over again. And this is gonna sound like a bit like cocky, but I do believe that the plant community needs more people like me showing the bad. Still believe that. Because there's too much fake, you know, stuff out there. There's a lot of like, here's a plant and like no follow through. And so I felt like a responsibility that I just need to show everything and everything. And what did I say? Everything and everything? Like a realistic point of view in home conditions without a greenhouse, the journey with my plants, and just sharing it. So yeah, I think I might have to put more. I didn't want to put more. Is it called validation? Like, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but when you know, the viewership was going down and like the ad revenue, it was actually doing okay, but I can see like the drop in like CPM or RPM or whatever. Y'all who are creators will know. Like especially like from January to May, like seeing how many like YouTubers leaving and either doing more avenues for income and whatever. Like it kind of told me that it wasn't me and my content, and it was just like an overall YouTube thing that was happening. So that kind of made me feel better because I was like, I think it's just me. I think people just don't want to watch me. So again, I'm just gonna hug this root onto the moss pole, and it might not go into the moss pole. It might just go straight into the pond, which is totally fine. Oh my God, I'm kind of tempted to propagate the other one in here, but no, Kevin, stop. I always want to chop them. I need to calm down. Okay, I need to grab some plant tape. So just wrapped it around both of them. You can see that the root is over there and hopefully it might attach, but we don't know. I love how this has turned into a plant tour video. Like that wasn't my intention, but I guess because I never look at these plants, I have to just do it now before, you know, time escapes me and, you know, I'm not able to do it in the future. But I think we caught it the right time when it comes to the moss and just making sure all of this is there. Okay, so that's her. Wow, incredible. Oh my God, next one. I can't believe. My God, they're really trying to latch on to something. Okay, second one. This one here. Look at this. Okay, this is the one that had a lot of roots in there. So let's finally put in a lot of moss so it can secure itself. I still don't love moss, but it's kind of the easiest thing. And like when it comes to cost, like I already have a lot of it. Like I think I have a bin of like old moss I took off some plants that I was getting rid of that I can like just boil again. And I also have more up there. So for the meantime, I'm just gonna stick with moss, and then maybe I'll try that bark situation. I'm trying not to pack it in like too much, just knowing these roots and just knowing how they do appreciate a lot of aeration. But with that also, they're gonna dry out faster. But I think I'm a lot better when it comes to keeping on top of the moisture in the moss bowl, especially with the introduction of nematodes. I am gonna order more just because I need to do my every 2 months like beneficial mite purchase. So I think I'm gonna just buy it then. So I don't think I need to tie it just because there are already roots that were against the moss pole. You can see that she's not trying to run. So yeah, I think I'm okay. But look at this, everyone. I know I keep showing them, but I'm obsessed. Let's water the pond. And to be honest, y'all, it's 11:30. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do a plant chore video after this because this is the chore video, I guess. But so again, let me know if you want to know what has changed my nutrient solution. Okay, also another thing, because people always ask, fungus gnats with plants living in LECA, fungus gnats with plants living in pond, they can still do it. I've seen them crawl out. And I think if you have like a certain level of degree of root rot, superficially, then the fungus gnat can lay eggs in that organic material since it's already dying. And then from there, they can still live in the pond. Can get through the pond. Like I've seen it. I've taken plants out and I've seen them crawl out. Like it does happen. I just think it's less than if you have plants in an aerated mix. And also, what do fungus gnats like the most? Moisture. And when you have plants in pond, plants in LECA, those substrates stay moist, even though they might not feel wet. They are still moist if they're all touching each other. There's a reservoir if you keep watering them when you're supposed to, which is often when it comes to indoor tropicals. So they still can. Okay. Oh my gosh. This leaf is everything to me. This leaf. Oh my gosh, I need to take pictures of this before I put it back. Okay, seeing that I only have a little bit of moss left. Good thing I don't need to use any more moss today. Okay, I think the last thing I might do is put the ones that were in the disgusting water into these square, they're not squares, you know what I mean, with self-watering planters in pot again, just because I'm out of LECA and I do have LECA still, but I'm planning to repot my golden bone and another plant in LECA. And I don't have enough to do all of it, so why don't we do pon again? These are okay. Listen, y'all, I know these look disgusting. I did clean them. It's just hard when there's like so many roots. It's fine. So I am gonna put them in their individual podanias. I'm also not gonna do one of those situations where I put the moss pole or anything, just because I know I'm probably gonna repot them again. Like, this is just a temporary thing. So let's just put some pon. I feel like the pon craze is kind of over. Do you see that I'm just putting it on top? I think people prefer more to do, I mean, understandably, just mixed substrates. So they could have like pon, LECA, perlite, bark, tree fern. Like, people are gravitating more towards those mixes. I totally get it. Like, I feel like that would be the most realistic mix when it comes to, you know, replicating what or how plants grow in nature. I just like simplicity, and I know in the future I'm probably gonna be adding some maybe stratum to my pon. Look at this. Okay. And because she's still new, I am gonna blast her with a grow light until the growth has come out, and then I'll move it away. The second one over here. Actually, while I have the pon out, I might do this one because I keep forgetting. I know that the roots have really grown into the bottom of this, and I keep forgetting about it. It does dry out, and I think that's why it hasn't grown as much as well. So why don't we do that with another planter if I could find one. Oh, it's actually not that much. Look. It's only this much. Wow, I'm actually shocked by that. It feels good though. There's just no branching. There might be like a divide in energy distribution when it comes to like maintaining the root. Also, there is a new plant coming out of the bud, so maybe that's why. So why don't we try our best to submerge it all like that. Do you see that? Using the same Ponania. Oh yeah, is anyone going to the Ontario plant show? I'm going, I think. I don't know if I want to film again. Like, that was a lot for me. Okay, just in the corner, cutie. So I'll put those three together. Did I need to do anyone else? I think I'll wait. Okay, test. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I'm trying the lav on this this Rode mic. I haven't tried it before. I'm just seeing if the sound is different compared to just clipping it here. But anyhow, I guess that's it, y'all. So exciting. All of this is so exciting. All the flames. I don't know, this one is so photogenic though. Like, when you look at it in the camera, look at all of these leaves. But forever obsessed with the most mature leaf I've ever like had with a flame. And she's here, and she's not even like that tall. Look. Insane to me. I feel like the next video might be 2 weeks from now. We'll see. I kind of want to buy more plants, which means I might have to add another video, which means that the planter video might be next week. So who knows? Oh, this is like, I'm in that mood where I'm just moving either plants to like my workplace. There's a lot of plants that are taking over my corner of the nurse's office. And that Tide constellation actually that I brought to work, if y'all follow me on Instagram, my stories, I actually gave it away the moment I like put it there. So I have to bring another one of them to work. I'm just curious about like how it's gonna grow in my work office, and so like it's a lot drier, a lot warmer, so we'll see. But I do have some plants coming in the mail, I think in a couple weeks, so that's exciting. We'll see. And then yeah, thank you for everything, for all the support, always, always, always. Thank you for leaving comments and still, you know, keeping me relevant in this social media world that don't favor old creators anymore. I appreciate you, thank you, and I hope everyone has a good weekend. I mean, actually just passed. I'm filming this on the weekend. This is going out on Monday. I hope y'all have a good week.